down with three BBs. Get down with three BBs. It's the poppin' passion, and that is me.
Well, I guess you're here to see what all the fuss about, the hoopla. I'm drummer, 1980 hailing from Columbia, South Carolina. I don't make believe, I make believers. I hope you're having a good day today, and if that's not the case, ask yourself why, because remember, happiness is an inside job, and it will always be an internal affair. Well, guys, we back today again with my man, TBA. Jason Black is back on the radar. Now, y'all should know by now that Jason Black has some good game. And he finna get into a conversation with a receptionist that looks down on FedEx drivers and delivery drivers. Okay, get your popcorn, because he is gonna give her a nice humbling. All right? I'm gonna call you to the screen, guys. Let's go.
Have I spoken? Have I spoken to you before?
No.
Ma'am, you said you're 21?
Yes.
Ma'am, if you don't quit, I'm sitting here looking at a video of you. If you are 21, I am Gladys Knight. You are not 21 years old. You might have been 21 years old 20 years ago. You are not 21. So let's not do that. That's not funny. That's not humorous. That's not helpful.
Okay.
And I'm not being rude either. Yes, ma'am. I'm taking a look at you. You have a video of you. You sure do, on your reels. Yes, you do. I guess you didn't think I was going to look at everything. I looked at everything. Yes, ma'am. Your profile picture does not look 21, and the video confirms. Survey says 44. Okay. So no, ma'am, the young lady next to you looks 21. So I guess that's your daughter, but that ain't you. So let's not do that.
No, that's my cousin.
Okay.
That's not my daughter. That's my cousin.
Ma'am, you are not 21. You're not 21. So why don't we try again? How old are you really?
I'm 31.
Okay. If this is 31, this is 31 with a lot of struggle.
Lord Jesus. Y'all see what y'all dealing with so far? You're dealing with a liar. Somebody telling you that they 21, and when in actuality, they 31. So you know how this conversation is getting ready to transpire, right? Guys, what do y'all think about whenever women lie about their age? And clearly, Jason could see it. Clearly. Do anybody remember the last couple of videos? I was talking about that trained eye. He has it. If a man is experienced with women, he has a trained eye. I'm trying to tell you, y'all might not want to believe it, but you don't have to believe something in order for it to be true, right? But this woman got on here and said she was 21, and Jason said more like 41. And then she finally conceived and came back and said she's 31. And he said 31 with a lot of struggle. Let's go, guys.
So you are on the slender side, but then again, I can't tell because it's from the collarbone up. But them arms do look like Feed the Children. So size 4, that could be it. What I am going to tell you right now is I'm just going to be totally honest with you here. That's why you're not on the screen and everything. On a scale of 1 to 10, even numbers only, what is the ranking that you think that men, even in Colombia, what ranking do you think the men would give you on a scale of 1 to 10, even numbers only?
Maybe an 8?
Jesus Christ.
Ma'am. So you believe that the men of Columbia, South Carolina would give you an 8?
Guys, In the defense of Cola, Columbia, South Carolina, this is a happenstance. This is a one-off right here, okay? This is an outlier. This is not the norm, all right? I stand in defense of Columbia, South Carolina. This does not represent us, all right?
You give me a female celebrity that you also consider to be an 8.
Maybe Megan Good.
Okay. So you are telling me that you and Megan Good are on the same level. That's what you're telling me.
No, I didn't say that you're on the same level.
I didn't. You're the one who raised that as a standard there. So,
well, what is your
so you're telling me that you believe that you and Megan Good are on the same level.
It's above me now.
No.
Okay. So you might want to reevaluate the 8 is all I'm going to say, because if you're going to say you're an 8, remember that means something.
Okay.
So I'm sure you are a nice, congenial person, but that's like a guy's telling the females, I'm broke, I'm homeless, I smell like tuna, but I'm nice and congenial. You should give me credit on my congeniality and my niceness. And that's not the standard that we're using. So if you are looking for the men, much less men of means, and in that area, that's kind of scarce. But if you're looking for that to be happening and you're not getting positive feedback from them, there might be a reason for that. But then again, these are things you already know.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is understand something. It's one thing to lie to you. It's a lie to me. It's another thing to lie to yourself on that. Because I'm thinking to a certain degree, you may actually believe some of that. And I'm just telling you, if you're not getting 8 responses, because there's a certain type of response that an 8 or a 10 receives. And if you're not getting the same type of responses that 8s and 10s receive, then you know that's not where you're actually at.
Do anybody disagree with what he said this far? That's the truth. You can't refute that. If you're not getting the responses, apparently that you're not what you claim to be. You are phony and fake and a fraud and a pretender. Huh? Testify somebody in the comment section. People can conjure up all kind of lies. And the worst thing in the world, hear me talking, the worst thing in the world is for a person to lie to themselves. Because what happened, at that point, you paint yourself into a corner. And then you blame everybody else around you. They're not up to par because I'm this. It's them. They can't see my value. That's the worst thing about lying to yourself. That's why people always tell you, be honest with yourself. For then people can level with you. You can level with yourself. Then you can level with others. But if you are delusional and you so stuck on self and this self-aggrandizement and I'm puffed up in myself. Okay. That's a steep fall off a steep precipice. So guys, if you don't learn anything else from this video, don't lie to yourself. Even if it hurts you deep down in your core, your soul, don't lie to yourself though. It's one thing to lie to somebody else, but when you lie to yourself, all hope is gone at that point because you boxed in. All right, let's go.
When's the
What
last?
do you mean the type of response?
Ma'am, 8s and 10s have men offering them tangibles.
Facts.
8s and 10. Ladies, if you all want to know whether or not you are an 8 or a 10, if you really want to be aware of it, let me give you a hint. If you have to ask why the men are not responding to you a certain way, that's your first clue that you are neither an 8 nor a 10. Because 8s and 10s receive a certain response. They don't have to fight for it. They don't have to claw for it. They don't have to do that. So if you're talking about what the men are not doing, that's your first clue that this is we're not dealing with an 8 here or a 10. Men respond to simply their presence a certain way. Anything below that level, with a 10, it's a lock. With an 8, it's not hard. Anything below an 8, if it requires effort, that's your first clue. Well, we know where we're not at.
But it's not an effort issue. I guess it's a comfort issue for me. When the aggressiveness, I guess it's a comfort level.
Comfort level, I don't know what that means. Comfort level from whom?
I mean, comfort level, like, I guess I'm more like I need intellectual stimulation. So okay. I'm not, they want to go on dates and things like that.
Okay, you say that you say you need intellectual stimulation. Let's be very, very clear. In this world in which we live in, basically when you meet people, it's a 3-legged stool. And it's usually going to be characteristics of a 3-legged stool. He's going to have money, he is going to have intellect, and he is going to have he's going to be emotionally engaging. Here's the problem. You're never going to find a stool that has all 3 of the same length. Get that through your heads as women. When you meet a man, you are all trying to look for a stool that actually y'all want one with 4 legs on it, but you're looking for a stool that he needs to have money, he needs to look a certain way and have a certain intellect, and he needs to be emotionally engaging. So I guess you can give that those 4 legs. But the problem is you're really only going to find at most 3. And the 3 will never be all the same length. Usually you're lucky if you can find a stool that got 2 of them. Because understand something, if I give you one, you're going to say, okay, where's the other one? Well, he needs to be intellectually stimulating. Great. He's intellectually stimulating and broke because he believes that money is the white man's evil invention and that you should be of a higher-minded spiritual level to be able to understand that money's not that important, that everything doesn't revolve around money. So therefore, because he is, quote unquote, producing for you intellectually, then that should compensate for the financial productivity that he's not producing.
No, I like financial productivity, but and also
they love intellectual stimulation. Every woman loves intellectual stimulation. Understand that every woman loves intellectual stimulation right up until the check shows up at the restaurant. Then they don't love intellectual stimulation anymore. Then she wants tangibles. She's like, wait a minute, where the dollars at? So they love saying that until the check shows up. And I'm not going to say that that's necessarily not important, because it is. Certainly if you want to have children with them. But what I am saying is be aware of what your priorities really are. So in your case, if you want to do that, that's fine. But just understand, if you're asking for a guy who has the 3 legs of that stool, much less the 4, a guy with the 3 legs is going to be in the top 10%. And that's not even counting money. So you're looking for a guy who is better than the other 90%. So you need to take a look at yourself and say, am I better than the other 90% of his options? If the answer is yes, then you shouldn't be having these problems. If you're having these problems, the answer may not be yes.
Listen up, guys. In layman terms, there is no Mr. Perfect. There is no Mr. Perfect. I don't know why women look for the perfect mate, because there ain't no such thing. Everybody is flawed. So that's a very good analogy what Jason used about the 3-legged stool. And he make this vital point. All legs won't be equal. You understand? If you're hanging your hat on finding Mr. Perfect, you will end up like a Vivian Fox, or Stacey Dash, or Bed Winch, or Claudia Jordan. You understand? Amongst others. And I can be here until January the 1st naming them. He's not out there. Everybody comes with something. Another thing, guys, if you're looking for Mr. Perfect, hypothetically speaking, right? Are you perfect? Are you a dime? Even dimes are not perfect. But now they may look a certain way aesthetically, okay? But whenever you start talking to them and you start getting to him psychologically, you will see, yeah, nobody is perfect. But if you're looking for Mr. Perfect, why should Mr. Perfect be attracted to you? Let me ask that question one more time, and then we have to move on. Why should Mr. Perfect, that have all of these options, he's the top of the food chain, he's the apex predator, he's sitting up in the catbird seat, so now his options are vast and wide and deep as the abyss, as the Mariana Trench. Hear me. Why should he pick you out of all of these women? What's so special about you? Ask yourself that.
So, Jason, just to confirm, do you think women should just focus on the optics then?
Yes.
Is important.
Well, optics are very, very important because optics get you a conversation. That's the whole point. What you're doing is demonstrating to him that you're not a genetic dead end.
What do you mean by that, a genetic dead end?
Because no man wants to sit up here and make a commitment to something that is not going to improve his legacy. So if ultimately this is about merging bloodlines, why would he want to do that in a risky place? And the things, you may be perfectly comfortable with the level of risk that you represent. Yeah, but he's not. And that's where it comes to, well, I think I got better options. Yeah, if you look like a risky place to make that type of commitment. So it is your job to demonstrate to him that you are his best option. That's your responsibility, not his. You have to do that, not him. So you have to beat out. I
appreciate your honesty.
You have to beat out the rest of your competition. You have to do that.
Okay. Thank you for your honesty and truth.
Well, slow down.
I'm a little nervous.
Well, that's perfectly fine. Slow down. Do you have a degree?
Yes.
In what?
I have a bachelor's in political science.
A bachelor's in political science. And what do you know about political science?
Yeah. I know the game of, I feel like political science is like the art of storytelling and networking with individuals to get what you want. It's an art of war.
Okay.
He said that you have to be ready to compete. A lot of you ladies act like y'all too good to compete and just sit on the sideline. That's why you lose. That's why you age out of the game without any wins up under your belt. Because you think that somebody's supposed to be grappling and begging and foaming out the mouth, chasing after you. Listen to me. You better make yourself readily available for the type of man that you seek, the type of man that you want. I didn't say run up in his face and just be gushing all over, but you have to let the man know in some form or fashion that you're interested in him. Then if he don't take it from there, okay, leave him alone. But some of y'all so closed off and, well, if he don't choose me, well, he ain't meant for me. Well, God ain't sent him and all this old crazy stuff. Okay, well, you gonna become a unit then. I tell you that. Some of y'all have to learn how to go after what you want. I didn't say gush over, but just make yourself available. Be in the way, so to speak. If he interested in you because you giving him choosing signal, okay, that's how you're supposed to do it. I didn't say run him down and be hanging off his back, riding his back. No, I didn't say that. But y'all better compete. You better compete. Listen to me. You better compete. All right. You the one that gonna be hollering and crying at night. Oh, I missed my opportunity. I should have listened at them guys on YouTube. They was saying it, but I was so stuck on myself. And now I'm 45 with a child. That's 10 years old. And, oh, God, my life didn't go like how I wanted. Yeah, you should have listened. You better listen at wisdom talk, even if it goes against what you believe. Because sometimes what you believe is totally wrong anyway. And you know it. Look at how your life going. You know you make bad decisions, right? All right, let me go.
Who's the president of the United States?
Who's the president of the United States? I don't know. It could be Trump. I don't know if it's Biden to be the president.
Okay, let me try this again. Who is the president of the United States? Miss Bachelors in Political Science.
Currently, the media is telling us Biden is the president of the United States.
Okay. And who is the vice president?
The black female, I choose not to say her name.
Okay. Why don't we take a stab at it
I have
anyway?
mixed feelings about her.
Why don't we take a stab at it anyway?
Miss Harris.
Miss Harris. Okay. And what did Miss Harris do before she became vice president?
She was a district attorney. She was a district attorney in California.
Is that all?
I'm nervous, Jason. You put me on the spot.
What did Joe Biden do before he became president?
He was a VP.
Under whom?
Barack Obama.
And what did he do before he was vice president?
He was also, he held a political position in Delaware before he became vice president.
A political position in Delaware. There are literally 200 political positions you can hold in Delaware. What was he before he became vice president?
Jason, why are you putting me on the spot?
Because I want to make a point to you here. You called me up and I'm doing this to you. I'm doing this for you to be beneficial to you. You called up talking about the standards that you have that you claim that men are not meeting. And what I'm doing is I'm checking to see if you are being realistic with yourself about what these standards that you claim you have actually are. Because if you're going to tell me that you want to hold, that the men are not able to hold intellectual conversations, I need to be able to see if you can actually hold one. Because you might not be,
have to be political,
because you might not be, you have a whole degree in political science. If you can't hold an intellectual conversation about something you have a degree in, what the hell have you been doing with your life? And the fact that you're even questioning that, what I'm saying is you have unrealistic standards, ma'am. You went to school for political science. What I'm talking about right now isn't even political science. It's basic civics. This is basic civics. I don't have a degree in political science, but I know all of these things. And you're sitting here struggling and you have a degree in political science, and yet you claim, according to you, that you're having difficulty locating men who can hold an intellectual conversation. And you're not even able to hold a conversation about politics. You said that that's what you're looking for, and clearly you're not finding it.
I say that's something that I like.
Okay. Are you able to find a plenty of it?
Yes. I would say so.
That's strange. That's not the way that you were coming across earlier. You were coming across as if that were an issue. That you're finding that was an issue.
No, I didn't define it as an issue. I stated that's something that I crave.
Okay, but why are you craving it? Shouldn't you already have it? Now you're claiming you have it. So which is it? Do you already have access to the type of men that you want, or you don't? Because you called in saying that you don't.
I have. Okay, Jason.
Do you have access to the type of men that you desire, or do you not?
I think I do.
You think you do, so you don't know you do, but you think you do.
When you made the analogy about the legs, maybe there might be other legs.
Okay. Do you have? Are you currently romantically involved with the type of man that you want to be?
I would say yes.
Okay. How long have you been with this gentleman?
It's been fairly new.
Fairly new. How long have you been with this gentleman?
I would say about a month and a half.
You've been with him a month and a half. How old is he?
Yeah. He's 45.
He's 45 years old. So you are allegedly 31, though you look closer to 41, and he is 45.
Yes.
And where is he from?
He's from New York.
So this is a gentleman that you met on Tinder.
Yes.
Okay. 45-year-old gentleman from Tinder, which means that you have absolutely no way whatsoever of validating anything, and yet you literally just told us that you are in a serious relationship with him after a month.
I didn't say, you said romantic.
Okay. You are seriously romantically involved. You're seriously romantically involved with him after a month.
Dating.
Okay. So in other words, you just hooking up with a dude, but you don't actually,
what do you mean by hooking up?
You don't actually have any serious prospects.
Just dating right now.
Okay, so you are not.
Like, is it supposed to be serious?
Contrary to what contrary to how you originally characterized it, you are not actually seriously involved with the type of man that you want to be.
No.
You claimed you were. You claimed you were when I asked that, which is why you said, "Well, I'm in talking with a guy now for a month." But you are not actually.
Clearly,
you are hearing me just fine. You are hearing me just fine. You are not actually, contrary to what you said, you are not actually involved with the type of guy that you want to be involved with.
Do anybody hear the contradictions? First, she said yes. Then she came back and said, well, no. Then she said, well, it's not serious, but it's a romantic relationship. Oh, so you can have sex, but it's not serious. So in other words, she just out there just having casual sex. Let me tell y'all this, and y'all might don't like this. Y'all might unsubscribe, but you know I don't care, don't you? You know I don't care, don't you? It's not good, and it's not in your best interest. It won't behoove women to just be out there just throwing her body around. Because every man that enters you, he's going to leave a piece of himself there. That's why whenever that you talk to women that have been with a lot of men, go talk to prostitutes. Go talk to night workers. Them women be all over the place. They schizo. It's not good for you, a woman just to lay down all willy-nilly. Because at that point, you the most vulnerable at that point anyway. Because you open up yourself to anything. Watch this, and y'all not gonna like this. I didn't say it was right. I didn't say it was right, but I'm gonna say it. See, a man can lay down and it won't affect him like it does the woman. A man can lay down with 100 women and it will not affect him like it would a woman. A woman lay down with 100 men, that woman gonna be bipolar, manic, and depressing, and suffer some psychotic episode. All kind of stuff could be going on with that woman. And y'all might don't believe it, but you can leave it alone. You don't have to believe it. Look at the neighborhood whore. Look at how she act. Don't blame me. Blame the creator. Don't blame me. I'm just a message, okay? I'm just bringing the message. Don't kill me.
So, as you said, the reason that you called me was because, Jason, I am not getting the type of attention or feedback or response from the kind of guys I want to be. I'm interested in intellectual conversation, and I don't attract those kind of men. Well, I think I found out what the problem there is. So you're going to want to start with yourself first. She claimed to be 21. Okay. We got other issues here. She claimed to be slim thick. I see slim thick is kind of missing. On a scale of 1 to 10, she claims to be an 8. She might want to revisit those things. So what I am saying is that now, I think right now where you're at, you are doing very well with the Amazon delivery driver. I think that's very, very good for you there. And
wow.
Most of them have very in-depth conversations. I should know because they're all on their cell phones when they're delivering stuff. So certainly they have the gift of gab in that area there. You don't.
No, Jason, why are you so harsh?
Okay, let me get something straight here. Why is that harsh?
The Amazon delivery guy?
Okay, what do you do for a living?
I'm a receptionist.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You are a receptionist who is attempting to look down on a delivery driver? Are you serious?
I said, wow. Why would you?
No, you just said that was. You just said that was harsh. Okay, because that's where the reception. That's exactly where you are as a receptionist. That's what you qualify for. That is where you are. But you have fantasies that you qualify for way higher than you actually do. And what I'm saying is that you are a regular. Some folks like to say average. But you are a typical female, and you contrary to what you're telling yourself, you qualify for the average guy. And there's nothing wrong with that. The only thing that's wrong with it is you fantasize to yourself that you qualify for much higher. Ma'am, you are currently on the phone with a guy who is the type of fellow that you're talking about. I am Mr. Much higher.
Okay.
And you can't even hold you are incapable of even holding a conversation with me about basic physics. And you are fantasizing that you're somehow on this level, even intellectually, much less emotionally. No, ma'am. You're like a lot of females. The problem was with our mothers and grandmothers, when they used to fantasize about the Calgon Take Me Away commercials, they knew it was a fantasy. The problem is this generation has a bunch of social media apps that have deluded them into believing that this stuff they fantasize about can actually be real. And you all have spent so much time indulged in the fantasy world that you have been broken away from reality. You had a complete break with reality. You're a receptionist. You are a working class female. You're a working class single female. There's nothing wrong with you being with a working class single male. Except you're telling yourself that you're much more valuable than your male counterpart.
Did y'all hear that? She said, wow. You harsh. And she is a receptionist. Let that marinate. This woman called herself looking down on a blue collar worker, basically. Amazon driver. Some of them Amazon drivers make money. I don't know what they talking about, but some of them gonna pull in some money. Y'all better recognize. But she called herself turning up her nose. Remember what I said earlier about lying to yourself. This is an extreme case of that. She's lying to herself. And her opportunities are just passing her by, walking by her every day. But in her mind, she's above that. She have surpassed that. Those are peasants, mere peasants. That's beneath me. Oh, but believe me, there will come a day, those same men you look down on, you turn your nose up at, go be the very men that you want. And I hope they curb you like the swine flu, because nobody is your backup plan. Ain't nobody no plan B. No back pockets or no arbiters. No, none of that. Nah, we ain't doing that. It's 2024. We ain't doing that. I have experienced that in my youth as well. But I always kept fly women. Not always. But there was some, oh, you don't do enough for me. Oh, but ask them now. Drummer, y'all just wouldn't understand. I'm telling you, y'all wouldn't understand. When I pull up on them now, whenever I see them in Walmart now, or either I go back to the hometown and I ride through in that $100,000 car, laid back. Ask them what they saying now. Got money in the bank. Ask them what they saying now. Wife got 2 carrots, not chipped up carrots. I'm talking about a rock. Wife driving good. Child looking good. Black man taking care of his family. Huh? You heard me, don't you? Ask them what they saying now. In the engineering field, ask them what they saying now. Oh, don't come back now. Oh, you know what? I always had a crush on you. Yeah. Y'all ladies better be careful how you handle these men. Be careful how you handle these men. Now, I'm trying to tell you, be careful how you handle these men. Because remember something, it always come back full circle now. It always come back full circle. Be mindful.
Let me say this as politely as I can. You and I are not peers. You and an Amazon delivery driver, you and he are peers. You and the orderly at the hospital, you and he are peers. The 2 of you are peers. You're not peers up here. You can keep trying this if you want to. The only thing you're going to do is continue doing what you're doing right now. You're going to get laid on top of by dudes from New York, California, whatever, who are going to see, yeah, she'll do in a pinch if there's nothing else going on. But ma'am, no. And this overactive fantasy life that the females have adopted, this is dangerous. They live on their cell phones and they fantasize that they are a part of a world that they're actually not in. And they're taking it seriously. They are seriously rejecting the men who will actually take them so that they can pursue the men they ain't got a snowball's chance in hell in the microwave of being able to get. And then telling us that the men that those men are somehow deficient. The ones they claim they want are deficient, and the guys they can actually get, oh, he's beneath me. Right. She's a receptionist who does not make as much as an Amazon delivery driver does, by the way. The Amazon delivery guys make more money than you. They make more money. They make more money than you, and yet you're turning your nose up at them. And let me tell y'all what will happen. What she will do is she will wait until she ages out of the game completely. When fellows like me have been like, when we finish laughing at her long enough, she'll wait until she ages out of the game, and then she's going to come crawling to the FedEx guys. She's going to come crawling to them. I mean, she's going to be all types of cooperative and empathetic and everything else. She's going to come crawling to them after she realizes that the fellas on my side of the fence are never going to say anything to her. Then she's going to act like, but the fact that you responded with that level of disdain and contempt for somebody who is above you, as if you were above, ooh, that's harsh. It's harsh. Your male counterpart is harsh. I want you all to think about that. A receptionist, is condescending about Amazon, ma'am. A receptionist is trying to be condescending about her male counterpart. That is a ridiculous commentary.
I don't feel comfortable to express what I really do. I just want to get some insight, and I say it was really harsh because someone said a receptionist and you just bash a receptionist.
Ma'am, I'm not bashing a receptionist. I didn't say anything bashing about a receptionist. Not at all. Not at all.
Oh my God.
And I'm not going to express where I work at.
I didn't ask where you work at, ma'am. You're not, ma'am. You're not.
I can tell you in private,
ma'am. Excuse me. You hear me just fine. Do not talk over the host again. I've been very nice and very charitable up until this second. Nobody has mistreated you. No one has been rude to you. Not at all. In fact, you were the one who was rude. I do not see a doctor. I do not see a physicist. I do not see an engineer on here. I see a regular, typical working class female. And that is fine. What is not fine is that the typical working class female that I see here has the gall to be condescending about a typical working class male. Now that is a problem because it means that you don't see yourself.
That's my statement.
Ma'am, it means that you don't see yourself the way you are. That's what it means. You don't see yourself the way you are. You have fantasized that you are far above that level, and it's caused you to be rude and condescending to the men who actually are on your level. It doesn't matter whether you are a receptionist, CNA, LPN, paralegal. It doesn't matter. You know what you're not? You're not upper middle class. You are working class. And you need a guy who you can keep up with. And you're fantasizing that fellas above your level that you can keep up with us. You're not even close. I don't know what you've been trying to talk to, but what I imagine is fellas are talking to you. And like I say, I gave you the opportunity to hold an intellectual conversation with me. The best you could do is sit up here and say, oh, well, either I don't know or I'm nervous. Well, either way, you're not qualified. Either way, if you're nervous talking to me on a phone, there's no way in the hell you can talk to one of my peers in person. So I don't know what type of intellectual conversation you believe you're qualified to have. So far, I've given you every opportunity to hold one. And you can't do it.
I'm nervous. I'm on a blog talk radio.
Okay, if you are nervous on a phone, what are you like in person?
I'm being honest.
Ma'am, if you're nervous on a phone, if you're nervous on a phone, then you are worse in person. So what I'm telling you is this was a reality. This was a reality check for you.
You got it.
My point is this was a reality check for you.
This is not reality talking to someone around an audience. That's not my reality.
Ma'am, it's
not my reality. I'm nervous.
Then, in other words, then a man shouldn't expect you to represent him in front of other people either.
Wow. So my feelings is invalid.
No, ma'am. No, what I'm saying is I'm simply articulating and illuminating what you're saying. So if you can't talk to me, then there's no way in the hell you're going to be a doctor's woman or a lawyer's woman and answer the phone for him. Not at home. You can't even answer the phone at home because you'd be too nervous.
I'm telling you, I'm nervous, and you're crushing me about this is not me. I'm not talking to you one-on-one. That's not a reality. I just called to have a question.
You are talking.
I am nervous.
You are talking to me one-on-one. And what I'm telling you is that if you can't do this, then the type of men you're telling yourself you want to be with, I'm illustrating for you why that will never work.
But it's not making a point to me because it's not facts. This is based on just a quick phone call.
What you're doing right now is called denial. And just because you're in denial doesn't make it real. So
wow, Jason,
you've met reality. Your goal is supposed to be to show that, well, that's not so. You've had every opportunity to show your knowledge of political science. You don't have it. Intellect is not there. Being able to hold a conversation, it's not there. So what I'm saying is, I bet you if you were on the phone right now with the FedEx driver, I bet you wouldn't be the least bit nervous. And
I'm looking at the comments. That's
okay,
why.
Ma'am.
It's nerve-wracking.
If you were on the phone with a FedEx driver, you would not be the least bit nervous. And that's why I'm saying for you to say that it was harsh for you to be told that means that you haven't come to grips with where you are. So coming to grips with where you are, not where you told yourself you were inaccurately. When you come to grips with where you actually are, then you realize, hell, if I was on the phone with a UPS driver, I wouldn't be the least bit nervous. Yes, because you and he are peers. So if you want things to go better for you here, get a guy who is your peer. Stop trying to grab one who is clearly not your peer. And this will go a lot easier. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Yeah, I mean, boy, you have to need the Amazon delivery driver. What? That's harsh. What?
Guys, tell me what y'all think about this video. I just wanted that to play through. Okay, guys, let me talk to the men. The best way to deal with a female like this is for you to just be successful. That's the best way to deal with. That is, I'm telling you what I know from experience. Best way to deal with a female like this is to build yourself up. Build yourself up. Get your money together. Get your mind right. Don't be making bastard kids all around the place, all right? Stay out of jail. Stay focused. Get on your purpose. And then whenever you do meet the woman of your dreams or whatever the case is, make sure she's bad, all right? You put her in something nice. I'm talking about driving the house nice or the apartment nice or the penthouse nice or whatever that you have. She's driving good. She looks good. Take her around those same women that rejected you and show them this what I have is better than you. Looks better than you. She speaks better than you. She's higher on the social pole. People say beauty is subjective. Okay. Perhaps. But an 8, 9, or 10 is an 8, 9, or 10. You understand that? You take an 8, 9, or 10 around a 6 or a 4. You can say what you want to say. Some people just more pleasant on the eyes than others. That's just what it is. Let's come to terms with that. Do anybody disagree with that? You take that woman right around them and show them. This is what I'm doing. When people see my wife, they see me, right? That's why she's in something nice when she drive out. That's why she's living in this house that I bought. Me, not her. I put the furniture in this house. All the beds, all the furniture, all the spoons, all the forks, everything in this house. I bought it, right? She know where she at. Daddy. You understand? That's why I can talk like that. My daughter is kept up. Everything is up to par. And hopefully I'm going to go higher. But I said all that to say this. Do not let 1 or 2 women just deter you and just crush you because they think that they above you. Yeah, because they think that they smarter than you because they have some type of useless degree. You a receptionist. And you looking down on an Amazon. Don't let that crush you. Don't worry about it. Because all you need is one, right? There's plenty of them out there. Now, you might got to comb through a lot of trash, and Jason did a phenomenal job with her. He humbled her. He brung her back down to earth. Laughing at the Amazon driver. Please, family, I have to go now. Put your thoughts and your ideas in the comment section. Hit the subscribe button. Come on back to see me, guys. Because you know what I'm doing. I'm hitting above my weight class. You understand that? Hit the like button. Hit the share button, all right? And until next time, peace. And remember, there is more.